everybody, my name is Jessica, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be about what to pack in your hospital bag. So I've decided to make this video because it is something that I knew absolutely nothing about. I'd never been in hospital for more than one night before my admission in November, and so I found it really hard knowing what I would need. So I thought if anybody else is out there in that situation, I will give you a helping hand. So my admission to the hospital was via the A&E department, so it was quite unexpected, and therefore I had to learn the hard way what I would need. I just want to do a disclaimer right at the start of this. Obviously, this list is compiled from my own personal experience. Obviously, everybody goes to hospital for different reasons. They each have their own unique hospital experience, and some things that I was able to do, somebody else might not be able to do. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer right at the top. And without any further ado, let's get on with the list. So, number one, and this is probably the most obvious, which is clothing. So, as I said, I know it's different for everybody. Some people won't be able to wear their own clothing if they're needing to wear a hospital gown, or if they are wearing their own clothing, they may just be comfortable in their pyjamas, and that's great, you do you. Personally for me, I found it really important to have day clothing. So having day clothes is something that I would highly recommend if it is at all possible for you, just because it made me feel so much more in control. Like, I wasn't as vulnerable as when I was in my pyjamas in the evening. I was in control, I had my own clothes on, and I was ready to face the day no matter what challenges it was going to throw at me. Obviously though, it is still important to be comfortable, and you will also want to avoid anything that is really tight, or if it's got sort of lots of buttons and zips to do, because if you do need assistance with getting dressed, then it makes it a lot harder on the nurses. If you've got, for example, skinny jeans, you'll need things like leggings and a slouchy top. That's the kind of things that you're gonna feel most comfortable in. Okay, so number two. This is something that I hadn't really thought about. It didn't occur to me, and luckily it did occur to my partner. So the second thing is slippers. So you don't want to be wearing your trainers or boots or any uncomfortable shoes that you may have come in with, especially if you're just getting up to go to the bathroom. You don't want to have to tie a load of laces every time you need the toilet. It's just really inconvenient. However, you do need slippers because they won't let you walk around in just socks. I think this was particularly important for me because as I was relearning to walk, I needed assistance to get anywhere, and so the nurses and healthcare assistants were really strict on making sure that I always had appropriate footwear. So something like slippers is great because they have a hard bottom, so that provides a lot of grip, but they're still comfy and cozy, and you're not having to battle with laces every time that you need to get up. Another reason that slippers are important is because sometimes your feet get swollen when you're in hospital, just due to the fact that you're not moving around as much as you usually would be, and slippers often have a lot more give, so they allow for extra comfort even if your feet are getting a bit swollen. Okay, so item number three, and it is earplugs. Really, need I say more? Hospitals are very loud places, lots of beeping machines, and you're not always going to have a quiet night, so I would highly recommend earplugs. I bought these from the little shop downstairs after my first week of being in hospital, and I found that they made an absolutely massive difference. Item number 4, it's a sleep mask. So this was something that I put off wearing for quite a while whilst I was in hospital. I don't know why, I just felt a bit uncomfortable with the idea of having a sleep mask on. When I finally gave in and gave it a go, it makes a massive difference. I don't think you really realise how much the light changes can affect you whilst you're asleep. Even if it just wakes you up for a second, you wake up feeling like you've had a really terrible night. And once I started wearing the sleep mask, I just woke up feeling a lot more refreshed in the mornings. So now we are on to item number 5, and that is toiletries. So the NHS are great. They do provide some basic toiletries if you arrive, like I did, with absolutely nothing. I wasn't expecting to stay in the hospital, and so I hadn't brought anything with me. So they gave me a comb and some toothpaste and a toothbrush, but it really is the very basics, understandably, and you will feel so much better if you're using your own products. So I would say never underestimate the power of feeling good whilst you're in hospital. If you feel good in your skincare routine and the way you're doing your hair whilst you're in hospital, it makes such a massive difference, because there's so little that you can control. You have your meals at a certain time and you're very limited in where you can go and what you can do, and having control of something as simple as keeping up a skincare routine, it's just everything when you don't have anything else really. For me, my skincare routine is probably the best it has ever been whilst I was in hospital. It became almost a ritual for me every morning and evening, washing my face, because that was the one time where I could just be me. It didn't matter that I was in a hospital, because I was just in the bathroom putting moisturiser and all these other lotions and potions on my face and feeling good about myself. And I would really say that makes a massive difference in your recovery process. It sounds ridiculous, but if you feel good, you're going to get better quicker. I think that's really important. So I would highly recommend, giving yourself a little bit of a treat with your wash stuff and making sure that you have everything that you need to feel good, not just the essentials. Item number 6. So this is entertainment items. Now, the most important thing I think to mention right at the top of this item is that you don't want to have too much stuff. It gets in the nurse's way, and there's nothing worse than feeling crowded. You only have a small cupboard and a little table that goes next to your bed, so you don't want that to be absolutely overflowing, because you need space, and I think a tidy space leads to a tidy mind. So just have the minimum amount you need to keep yourself entertained. Now, when you're on your own, I would highly recommend having books and also other creative things. For example, I brought my crocheting project with me, and I managed to crochet an entire shawl in the time that I was in the hospital. So that kept me busy. It was something to do with my hands with the crocheting. If you also like doing things with your hands but aren't a knitter or a crocheter, things like colouring books are really great, because they keep you busy, they keep your mind occupied, and it just makes that time go a little bit faster, because boy oh boy does time in hospital drag. Now, the next couple things in the entertainment section are for if you have visitors. So I actually have this little board game, and my partner brought it in whilst I was in the hospital, and we would get it out and play it on my bed in the evenings. it was really great because you ended up completely absorbed in the board game and forgetting that you were in hospital and you weren't at home, and it just really gave a much more fun dynamic to visiting time. Obviously don't bring something that's going to be noisy or disruptive, because you have to be very aware that everyone around you is also sick. Nobody is in hospital for fun, and you have to make sure that you're being respectful at all times. But what was really great about this game, it's called Deep Sea Adventure, is that it's a tiny little box, so it fit in my handbag, so it didn't take up lots of space, and it's got all the pieces you need in there, but it's not noisy. You just have to roll a dice. So we would roll the dice on the bed so it didn't even rattle on the table, and you have hours of fun right there. Okay, and we've got our final item now, which is item 7. So this is a charger for any devices that you brought in with you. I just have my phone with me, but you will be surprised how quickly your battery drains when you are answering lots of well wishes from friends and family. I hope that this video has been somewhat helpful for anybody out there who is maybe going in for a planned hospital stay, and if you're currently in hospital and don't know what you need, write this down and give it as a list to whoever is going to bring your stuff in, because I would highly recommend bringing in all of the things I've suggested. As I said, you don't want to have too much stuff because it can become cluttered and a health and safety hazard if there are too many things around your section, but equally you need to have those home comforts in order to help you recover quicker. I really hope that this video has helped, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, thank you, bye.